Hi guys, welcome to Easy Peasy Gardening. I'm your gardener friend Ruchi, and today we are going to sow some Portulaca seeds. So, if you've seen my previous video last time, I had grown Portulaca flowers from cuttings. I planted the cuttings and they grew really nicely, and that whole planter was so colorful. It has magenta, red, white, yellow colors. So, I collected seeds from it, and this time it's already beginning of summer and I'm going to grow them from seeds. So I have this planter in which I have good potting soil mix, lot of compost, some coco peat, some perlite. Perlite is to provide good drainage, coco peat to keep the soil moist, and compost for uh, nutrition. So I'm going to just take a few seeds. That seeds are really tiny. I'm going to just take a few seeds and scatter here. And then I'm going to cover it with more potting soil mix. So the rule of thumb is that the uh, depth of the cover should be, no more than 4 times the size of the seeds. And now these seeds are really tiny, so very little soil. And now I'm going to just water it. I'm going to just water it, and then I'm going to cover it with a plastic sheet so that the soil stays warm and moist. So because when you put a plastic sheet on top of it, then whatever water evaporates, it condenses on the plastic sheet and goes down in there, so it stays moist. And because it is clear plastic sheet, so in the daytime whatever sunlight it collects, uh, it will stay warm. So that's how, because for germination those are the two requirements. The soil should stay moist and warm. So that's what I'm going to do now. So here I have a big plastic sheet, so I'll kind of cover it like this and then leave it, and loosely placed. You don't want to cover it tightly, because then it may develop fungus inside. You don't want that. So there should be some air circulation, but mostly it will keep the planter moist and warm. And I'll keep you posted as they start to germinate. It's been about 10 days, and very tiny seedlings have started to appear, and quite a bit of them. So, a lot of seeds have germinated. So, Portulaca is an annual plant, and it's really easy to take care of. Once the plants grow to about 1 inch, then you don't need much care. The only problem is that initially, when the seeds, because the seeds are so thin, the seedlings are really tiny, and when you water them, they tend to just get uprooted. So I think that was my problem. But other than that, once they start to grow, then nothing much needs to be done. So it's been about 6 7 weeks that we planted these portulaca seeds, and initially they were growing slowly, but now they are pretty strong, and they are at least 2 inches tall. So now we can transplant them. So here I have a container that I put in the hanging basket, and it has a good potting soil mix, lot of. So now we're going to transplant these. So I'm going to just take a few out and just put them in there. So look at this. So it's 2.5 inches tall and good root. Basically in this I'm going to leave the rest in this planter, uh, because in any case they are too close to each other. So if I wanted to leave them as it is, it will be too crowded. And because we have disturbed these plants, so they'll be in shock for a couple of days. So I'm going to leave them in the shade, because this was, in full sun. Like it gets about 4 or 5 hours of direct sun. But this, because I had just transplanted, I'm going to put them in a shaded area under a tree or something, outside only. And maybe in a couple of days I'll put it in a filtered light area, meaning partial sun, and slowly I'll move it in full sun. So I'm going to just put some soil in this, so that if I have exposed the roots of the remaining plants, it will cover up and they'll not die. It's been a week that we transplanted these Portulaca saplings, and they are doing fine. I don't see much growth right now, but that's okay. We just transplanted them, so uh, in a couple of weeks they'll start to grow. It is kind of a trailing plant, so it doesn't grow tall. It will kind of spread on the side, and it's very easy to actually propagate it from the cuttings also. So I have made another video in which I had shown how to grow it from cuttings. If you have one plant, you can make many cuttings from it and it will start to grow happily. The colors are really, really vibrant and bright, especially the magenta and yellow, orange, white. They all look so beautiful. Portulaca is a warm season flower, and it requires full sun. Mostly, any soil is good, but of course, if you have a good, rich soil, then, the plants will be stronger. And they don't need too much of water, because their leaves are kind of thick and they retain water. So whenever you water, just water them in the roots, because if you water them on the flowers, so the flower, they are so delicate, they will basically kind of bend on the side, and then they'll not open up and they won't look good. And also these flowers, basically they kind of close at night, so they open in the daytime, and I think they open only for one day. So I hope this video was useful to you. If you have any flowers in your garden, you should always save their seeds and grow the plant next year from those seeds. That way it's a complete cycle. You don't have to go out and buy new seeds every year. That's what I do. So if you have any questions, leave a comment and I try to answer as soon as possible. If you like this video, press the like button and subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.